What's going on, guys? Welcome back to RC Everyday. We've got another Tamiya time. This is Tamiya model number 58161, the TA02 based F150 racing truck. And this originally came out September 95. It was re-released in 2011. This kit is a mix of both, kind of, so we'll talk about that. All right, so this was one of my bucket list items as a child in the 90s. I always wanted a Toyota. They were super hard to find these days. They've never re-released that. They've had some other trucks, including one on a TA02 with that body, but never in the Iron Man, Stewart, out livery, the full Toyota racing look. I've had an S10. I bought an S10. I found it unbuilt with an unpainted body. God, I paid $100 for it at a flea market like 15 years ago, and I built it and sold it that way back when. I do have another S10 now. It's already painted black. It's a good runner quality. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. It has some hand paintedness on the wheels, so I haven't really been into that. The wheels are available. So this is a mix of the old and new. This is a reproduction body, and they disclosed that when I bought it. It's not a big deal. These bodies are very hard to find, and especially in good condition, because being an off-road truck, it seems like they got a whole lot more abuse back in the 90s when they were new. But the chassis is all original. Everything's the right color. We'll look at that here in a minute. But this thing is beautifully done. Somebody really took their time, painted the two-tone paint. The sticker work on it is nice. It's a good-looking body. It's pretty much exact. I can't remember who makes these. I'm sure somebody will know in the comments. But done to the factory spec of the livery. Tell it's got some age. It actually has the BF Goodrich tires. They quit doing that on the later versions. On even the CC01s, like the Jeep Wrangler, came with BFGs on them, but then I guess they lost their licensing or whatever, so they did away with that and just had the same tire and wheel set up. Get that from the back. Again, beautiful body. We've got the spare tire that's molded into the body. The seller actually had a sticker of this wheel to try and put in there. It's a little bit large. I haven't messed with it. It's in my sticker bin, just waiting for a day. I feel froggy. So there's it from the front. Looks pretty good. It's got all the correct stickery livery on it. No stickery. My one thing I never understood, these trucks, even the originals, had a little notch right here. Not sure what that was, if that was where like the exhaust came out on the real ones or something. So it's just the standard TA02. These had, I think, a longer shock shaft. That was really about the only difference in them. The front bumper is narrowed, so the tires don't hit it when you're turning. And that's really the only differentiating factor, if I can remember right. This one's got all original electronics. We've got this Airtronics Rival radio set up here with a crystal. We've got 3-speed mechanical speed controller. We've got the little heat shrink up here. I mean, it's pretty original. I can't bring myself to run it because it is so mint, but I really want to drive one. I've got some old nickel metal batteries, and I want to throw like the best I could afford back in the 90s was like a 3000 milliamp. I want to throw one in it and run on this old stuff with the crystal and the battery and 3-step and see how it actually compares to modern day stuff, because everything's so fast now. These electronic speed controllers, I mean, you can get basic stuff for $15, $18 and just plug it in, throw a LiPo on it, and boom, you're going a whole lot faster for a whole lot longer. But we got our big floppy antenna. It's a pretty neat setup. We've got the servo down here for the steering, servo up here for the speed. It's crazy how far technology's come. Looking at the bottom, you see it's had a little bit of runtime on it. It is super clean. Somebody actually, I guess when they did the new body for it, they went through and restored the chassis. Everything is spotless on it. It's clean inside and out. I don't remember if it has bearings in it. I filmed this video once, right after we got the new shop up and running, and I was trying the microphone on the good camera, on my Nikon DSLR, and it did not work at all. The audio sounded like I was screaming, and there was just no way to adjust it down. So, but a few scrapes and scratches here, but it's super clean. Tires look practically new. Everything on this is just mint and fresh. We've got our battery hold in, typical Tamiya steering slop. Motor looks brand new. There is a split. These that's the problem with these TA02 gearboxes. Plastic on plastic. They're self-tapping Phillips head screws on most of it. Things split over time, so that's another sign that this is actually original. The shock tower split. That one split. This upper gear cover back here is split. Um, they're not split very far. I wonder if somebody's actually glued them back together. Check the other side out. Those are all good. That one's split. We got 3 out of the 4 body mount are split, but it's still working just fine. And again, this is going to be a shelf queen. I'm not running it. It's way too pretty. And yeah, let me pull the wheel off, see if it has ball bearings or not, because I don't remember from the other video. It appears to have bushings. I hated that. That was, well, you know, I was, what was it, 95? I was probably 10, 11. So paying an extra $35 for ball bearings, that was a lot. You had to save up all summer just to afford the kit, which was a couple, 250, 300. I don't even remember. I'll have to get some of my old magazines out and go through the Tower Hobbies ads. These shocks feel fantastic. That's one thing. All the advancements in the hobby, all the electronics and the lipos and the brushless stuff we've got now, and makes everything so dang fast and so dang good. All the shocks leak, except for these old Tamiya shocks. I don't know what it is. Just a simple plastic design. They use double O-rings in them. I mean, I've put together $120 crawler shocks, double O-ring, nice billet bodies, everything, and they just leak. Everything leaks now. I don't know what the deal is, but let's take a look at this radio, because this radio is special to me because this was the one I saved up for to buy myself as an upgrade. Before that, I think it was a Futaba Magnum, but it was the one that my dad had from like the 81 or 82. He had a Tamiya Wild Willies. So when I was growing up, that's what I'd seen, what I'd had. And I think that's the radio I started using because I couldn't afford to buy a radio. Got the car for Christmas, my first TA02. And yeah, had to go from there with what I had. So somewhere around 97, I think, I picked up one of these because I thought it was awesome. It had the hideaway antenna we can sword fight with, hit the ceiling with it. It really doesn't have that. It's pretty much a basic radio. It's just got your basic trim things. You got a little bit of adjustment on your throttle. If you need a little bit more reach with your long fingers like I did. Pretty neat though. I thought it was cool. I always saw in the RC car action in the racing sections, and all the guys that were racing had the fancy Airtronics radios with the whole digital screen that stuck off of it and had all the touch buttons and stuff on it. And I thought, man, I want some Airtronic stuff because that looks fly. And yeah, this is the only one I could afford. I think even back then it was only like $99, but it did the trick. Got me hooked in the hobby for life, apparently. So I ran across this truck. I got a really good deal on it. Just another one of those late night eBay finds. I had a lot of people ask me before in these videos, like, what's a good deal? I'd say on average, I'm probably in all these TA02s for around $200. A few flukes I've gotten really cheap. A few of them that are really nice I've paid a little more for. I don't think I've paid more than $300 for one of them. And yeah, I'm trying to look at them thinking, I don't think I really have. They're $250 on the higher end ones. I think this one was shipping because eBay charges tax and all that garbage now. It was probably somewhere around $250. But it was worth it. We got all the original stuff. We've got a brand new body. And I got the radio from my childhood. So kind of a full package deal. But it's definitely just a shelf queen. Looks fantastic. Would probably run fantastic, but I don't want to damage that beautiful body. Typical fashion for me. I set the body on a shelf, and I accidentally did that off camera, so I was a little distracted. I mean, a TA02, TA01, you could get one of these bodies reproduction, play with the fender gaps a little bit, mounts right up to the same body mounts. It would be easily done, and that would look pretty cool, maybe. Look like some kind of Hoonigan truck or something. So that's going to wrap it up for this Tamiya Time episode, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate people interested in this vintage stuff. I know some of y'all don't like it when I call it vintage because it kind of dates us and makes us feel old, but you're only as old as you want to be. So that's why I'm still here playing with toys. The same toys I wanted as a kid we're getting now. We're going to have all the fun that we missed out on back then. But until next time, guys, keep it scale. Get out in there to do something with a hobby, and I'll see you in the next video.